Why doesn't the Joker mess with the Flash? Today we're going to discover that storyline and a few other ones. The Flash has been going on for a very long time, and recently DC Comics decided to celebrate by displaying how amazing Wally West was in Flash issue 800. There's a bunch of little stories in here, but the first one and the most important is going to be, why doesn't the Joker mess with the Flash? This is Comicstorian. We take comic books, we break them down into digestible bites, and I read them back to you as an audio drama. The purpose is so you can keep up with your favorite comic books and still know what's going on. Now let's get into Flash, issue 800. The first story is titled, Don't Come to Central City. It was a quiet night as several low-level criminals gathered to play cards and bet the earnings that they just got from each other at their own little heist. As the cards are dealt, they talk about the cities that they should avoid hitting. Not just because of the heroes who patrol, but other potential issues. Gotham? Well, Gotham's chaotic enough that you might slip through the cracks. Metropolis? Other than the Big Blue, that city is constantly under attack. Coast City? Very doable. The Green Lantern's actually hardly there. Fadeaway Man looks at his cards. Well, I heard Central City is tough, but I think that's all just hype. Everyone stops to look at him, and Goldface is the one who comes forward. No way, man. Central City's the worst. Ever wonder why no criminals come to Central City? The Lex Luthors or the weirdos from Gotham? You see, one time, the Joker thought that Central City would be an easy target. He had his Joker Venom all set up and ready to go. But as he pressed the button, that Scarlet Speedster showed up and blew the Clown Prince of Crime all the way back to Gotham. Scariest villain on the planet, and even he knows that Central City is a no-go. Mind Dancer says, "That's nothing. You ever heard of Condiment King? He was trying to knock over the main bank, and he got as far as the front lobby, and then he was just in a desert in the middle of Africa. It took him almost a year to get home." Fadeaway Man looks at them all. "You guys are all just making up stuff now." And the bug-eyed bandit asks, "You ever run into those kids?" Puppeteer chimes in. "Oh, don't even get me started. I saw them once." "Surge? That kid is as strong as Superman. He lifted up a giant over his head and threw him like a skipping stone. And Thunderheart, the girl, she's all over the place. She'll hit you 90 times and then give you a wedgie because it makes her giggle." Mind Dancer tells them, No. You hear what happened to Mordru, the guy with the powers of time and space? Well, he came to Central City and saw a little girl. This little girl stuck her tongue out at him. So Mordru, who already has self-confidence issues, takes the kid's sucker right out of her hands. Because who's gonna stop him? He then looked down the street and he saw the Flash there, just waving his finger back and forth. You shouldn't have done that. So what does the big wizard do? He jumps to another dimension. He smiles to himself, right? Feeling like he just got away, like he was safe from the Flash. But he wasn't safe. Somehow the Flash found him, so he jumped to another dimension, and another dimension, and another dimension. Finally, Mordru appeared at the end of the universe, the place where time ends and reality is being made. And the Flash was there, with his palm out. Can you imagine? The Flash chased him all over space and time for a girl's sucker pop. Mordru was never the same after that. Everyone around the table joins in a quiet, whoa. But Fadeaway Man tells them that it can't be true. All the money that he's playing with was stolen from downtown Central City, right next to that Flash museum, and I'm fine. Everyone stops, and they stare at him for a moment. You did what? Maybe we can all get away before... But at that moment, there's a knock at the door. Everyone sighs. Oh, we're too late. Fadeaway Man gets up to answer the door. You're all just being paranoid. It's the pizza that I ordered from Lex Eats. Look. And as the door opens, Flash is standing there. Hey, would you guys mind having a little chat? Next we have the Max in the Mirror. Bart Allen, speedster from the far future, lives with his mentor, Max Mercury, the Zen master of speed. Max's job is to teach Bart a foreign concept, patience, and it's going to be a very long road. As Bart gets up and heads to the bathroom, he wakes himself up because he's surprised to see Max is stuck in his mirror. Max? What are you doing in there? Max tells him, all right, listen carefully, Bart. I'm going to speak slowly. Flash and I are trapped in a temporary mirror dimension and Flash jumps in quickly. And it's fading away and it's taking us with it. Bart, the Mirror Master is loose in downtown Keystone. Go find him, But before the Flash could finish stating any words after and, Bart has already changed costumes and has knocked Mirror Master out. And make him release. Oh my God, what did you just do, Bart? Bart tells him, you left that part out. You didn't let me finish, Bart! It's not the same! Max, handle him. All right, well, he's your cousin. Max steps up. Well, there should be a mirror gun there. Maybe we can use that, and Bart picks up the broken gun. Can we fix it with glue? Bart begins to take off, and Flash just is panicking. Great, what are we gonna do now, Max? The kid is the attention span of a toaster, who knows? After going to the library and doing a little research, Bart returns with a fully restored mirror gun, except when he pulls the trigger, nothing happens. And Flash and Max are just fading away. What's wrong now, Bart? Just go find Steel. Steel can figure it out. But Bart notices the MPS meter on the side and has an idea. Suddenly, he begins to run again, and he stops in front of the mirror, firing the gun, popping out Max and the Flash. How did you do that? Bart points at the gauge. I charged it. It read MPS. I figured miles per second, and I figured he was tapping into the Speed Force. Max laughs. All right, that's some quick thinking. Well, it's still early, Flash tells him. Maybe the three of us can get breakfast, but before Flash could finish, Bart takes off as Flash is yelling, "Oh my God, after we take Mirror Master in, we gotta take him in first, Bart!" Our next story is called Flash Family. As Barry and Iris get ready for their date night, Linda asks where are they off to. Wally tells her once a month they go on a secret date night. They try to hide it, but they always go to the same restaurant they had at their first date. Linda says that it's actually kind of sweet, and Wally says yeah. Barry is such a nerd. Linda gives them a playful slap, and Wally says, Hey, I meant it as a term of endearment. I love that Barry can be that predictable. There's no one with a bigger heart. Except, Barry's date night isn't exactly what Wally may think he was going to do. You see, Barry started on the cosmic treadmill, and Iris asked if taking the cosmic treadmill for a joyride was really a good idea. Barry says that it's not really a joyride when it's your car. Besides, they'll be back before anyone notices. But this date night isn't exactly as Wally may think. Barry and Iris appear in the future, where they're suddenly attacked. Barry braces himself for a fight, but the robots are suddenly destroyed by two people that they came to see, Dawn and Dawn. They spend their time like a family, a real family. These are the neglected children of Barry and Iris from an alternate timeline. But now, they just have lunch. They stop some villains. They do things that a normal family would do. And soon after that, Wally tells Linda that Barry always showed him what it meant to have a family. She says that Barry may be a nerd, but he really is a sap. At that moment, Barry walks in the door, stating that Wally may have learned that from him as well. Wally wonders why they're back so soon, and Iris tells him that they forgot something. This time, though, as Barry and Iris leave, Barry tells them, "Come on, bring the kids." Wally asks, "Wait, didn't you just leave a second ago?" "Wait, you didn't!" as he puts it all together. Our next story is called Blitzback. Deep inside of the Speed Force sits Hunter Zolomon. He's not like the Flashes who connect to the Speed Force. He doesn't channel it like they do. In fact, he has no tether to the Speed Force, despite being inside of it. He tried to use the Flash's cosmic treadmill to change his past. But the truth is, he's controlling how quickly and how slowly the timeline passes him by. He could stop it completely if he wanted. He thought about this long enough. He's Zoom, and it's time for him to leave the Speed Force. Most would call what he's experienced here torture. Being forced to watch your life flicker before your eyes. From the most tragic days to the seemingly mundane. He ignored many of them until he began to understand that even the simplest of interactions have shown him something, because it all adds up. After his accident, he became obsessed with becoming the catalyst to help Wally West become a better hero. When Wally's mentor, Barry Allen, revealed that it was Eobard Thawne who gave the clown the gun that killed his father-in-law, it first shook him. He was exonerated for the role he played that day, but not any other. He was confused as to why Eobard would lead him down this road to become Zoom, that he'd know how to cause a chain reaction like that in someone's life. His father-in-law was killed because he seemingly made a bad call. He left walking with a cane. He was fired from the FBI. His heart breaks as Ashley leaves him. He then became friends with Wally West and later became his enemy. But now, paired with Barry's revelations about Thawne's role in his path, the Speed Force has given him clarity. The greater the villain, the greater the hero. If Eobard created him, he could become a hero. There was a loud, thunderous boom as the lightning strikes down, and as Hunter Zolomon stands up, a voice asks if he is all right, if he needs any help. He stands up smiling. "Oh no, I'm here to help others. I can never stop, not until Wally is the perfect hero. How he gets there isn't what matters. All that matters is that today, the Speed Force told me so." Our last story is Between Love and You. At a restaurant in Central City, Wally and his wife, Linda, sit down for a nice, peaceful, uninterrupted dinner. Wally notices Linda checking her watch 6 times since they sat down, and if he had to guess, she's counting the minutes until the inevitable. Sure, sometimes it's save the world stuff, but it's just as likely that it's an autograph or a waiter with an urgent note from Beast Boy, which is always not urgent, or maybe a clumsy cyclist, or... The point is not that these things happen, but that Linda hasn't noticed. Every blink, every glance at the watch, he's giving Linda the night that she deserves. But as Linda goes to wipe a tear from her eye about how happy she is, Wally knows that it'll take her about a half a second, and with that, he has plenty of time. 16 seconds ago, there was a disturbance in the Speed Force. Wally entered it and realized the hiccup that he felt was actually a trap. Someone wanted him to come thundering in. He tries to stabilize himself, but he's now out of sync with reality. But there's someone. He'd ask who, but they're too busy slicing away at his back, and the bad news, he's just as fast as him. But just then, as his blood evaporates, he figures it out. When he came barreling in, he bounced off a membrane and tore loose a spectrum of the Speed Force's energies, and it's all pointing to one person. Wally puts the pieces together and a mirror appears. An atomic mirror, a quantum barrier. Mirrors, huh? Sure brings a suspect to mind. Wally begins to focus his mind and body not on the pain, but how he's going to enter the mirror, and of course, it's head on. He blasts out of the Speed Force, severing the link that Evan McCulloch had and seemingly put him into a lot of pain the way that he's yelling. Wally looks around. What is this? Linked? This tech you got is way beyond you, beyond anyone really. And that hiccup, did you cause it or exploit it? Either way, that's a question for another time. I need to deliver my least favorite Mirror Master to jail and make it back to Linda. Wally tries to keep his mind focused, but as he returns to the restaurant, he suddenly forgets about deceleration, and as the force of his speed catches up, knocking everyone and everything over, Linda stares at him. The world can wait, huh? She gets up to leave, and Wally asks if anyone else felt that earthquake. I'll help tidy up. And that concludes our mini-stories about Wally West in Flash 800. At the time that this video is coming out, the Flash movie should also be coming out, so make sure you like and subscribe and stick around to our channel. I'll be linking some of our bigger Flash stories down below, and you can always check out our Batman video that is coming out this weekend. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and I will see you next time right here at Comicstorian.